What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the 2 Point Bros podcast. Not an official episode here, just the Giants' schedule has released, and as a Giants fan, I wanted to do a live reaction to it, get to see my thoughts. Supposedly, it is the hardest schedule in the NFL right now, so let's see if that hype actually lives up to the hype. So with that, I hope you guys enjoy. Let me know down below if you agree or disagree with how I feel about this. And this will be kind of a quick walkthrough. I just finished my workday, had my dinner, and I was like, hey, you know what? Let's see what the schedule looks like, and why don't we record it? So yeah, bear with me here. Still getting our bearings as we, get this channel up and going, but I hope you guys enjoy. And so with that, here's the schedule. I took a quick snippet. So looks like we have one, two, three primetime games. It looks like we're playing. Looks like this is a Sunday night football game. Looks like this is a Thursday night football game. Then we got a Monday night football game. Three primetime games is awesome for the Giants. I truly believe, guys, if you are a Giants fan and you want the Giants to do well, let's hide under the radar as much as possible. I love to see that. 2022, it felt like that was a similar situation. No one really believed in us, and that is how we were able to capitalize on some of those W's that we took in the season. So I love seeing that. Giants, clearly, I think the reason their schedule is so tough is kind of four-pronged. We are not a super good team on paper. We've improved through the draft and free agency, but still people don't believe in us. The NFC East is becoming really good. The Eagles just won the Super Bowl. The Washington Commanders were one game away from the Super Bowl and have a superstar talent in Jaden Daniels. And the Cowboys, regardless of how much we all love to watch them fail in the playoffs, are a very good regular season team. And Dak Prescott gets paid more than he's worth, but he is still a good quarterback and can win games, along with CeeDee Lamb being an extremely, extremely talented wide receiver, and Micah Parsons being an amazing defensive end. Cowboys probably lower on the totem pole now, but then couple that with, it looks like we are playing the AFC West, so we're playing the Chargers, Chiefs, Raiders, Broncos, and then it looks like we're playing the NFC North, the Packers, Lions, Bears, and Vikings. Those are two really tough divisions. So that is why our schedule is really difficult. So games that break my heart, just off a quick glance, Kansas City, home opener, 8 o'clock. That stings for the fans. We get our first game at home. We're playing two games on the road. First game at home, getting smacked by the Chiefs on primetime is tough. Be awesome if we won it, though. There's a lot of upside there. Again, Thursday night against Philly, it's like almost, hey, Giants fans, look at you lost Saquon, and you now get to watch him play for the Eagles. I've recorded this a few times, so this is my third time kind of going through the recording. I am not a bitter Saquon person, so what I mean by that is the Giants would have wasted money on Saquon if we kept him, and Saquon would have wasted his talent on the Giants if we kept him. Saquon never got us anywhere because we are not a complete team, or we're not a complete team at the time. Saquon goes to a complete team like the Eagles and clearly is one of the best backs, if not the best back in the NFL. Stinks it was the Eagles, but I think the transaction, I will never fault Joe Shane for what he did. I probably would have done the same thing. Signing Daniel Jones, again, you can find videos of me being a supporter of that. We don't need to get into it. That's a later conversation. But Thursday Night Football, watching Saquon stomp on us, that's a rough one. And then Monday night against New England is actually, I kind of like this one. It's cool for me and Matthew, the co-host of this podcast. That'll be fun to kind of watch with him. So that's neat. Feels like looking at this, the end of our schedule after the bye is actually pretty strong in the sense of I think Washington, Minnesota, Vegas, and Dallas are all winnable games. So that's cool. I think the beginning of our schedule is really tough, so it's going to be on the coaching staff and the team. Some of these veterans like Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, guys like Darius Slayton now, Andrew Thomas, Dexter Lawrence. Crazy that they're the veterans now, but they are. They're going to have to hold this team together, and they're going to have to find some scrappy ways to win. Like we said earlier, it's really for the Giants. It's going to be on the defense, man. They gotta step up. We gotta win games in the trenches, and it's got to start with our front four on defense, and we gotta be able to be competent on offense. Dable's gotta live up to the Dable hype here, and the real question is, when do we see Jackson Dart in this? And it feels like to me we'd see Jackson Dart here in December against Washington. Regardless of where we are, I think if he is developed at the point that Dable wants him to be, maybe even a little ahead of schedule, that could definitely push Dart out there, some winnable games. With all that, let's just go through and see how many games we win and lose here. So Washington, it's going to be an L. I think we're going to split with Washington, so let's find our other Washington game and just give ourselves a W. So right now, yep, we have one win. Dallas, I think we're going to split with them as well. So I think we're going to take an L early and then get the win. Down here. I think we'll get the win down here. I think the team will have a lot more cohesiveness, and Dallas may have imploded by this point. So I think that's the way we'll split with them. I'm going to give the Eagles both wins. I hate to say it, but they are just a complete team and a very good team, so good for them. Kansas City here, we will sadly take the L. Chargers, we will sadly take the L. New Orleans, we will get our first win, which will be exciting. Sadly, we will be 1-4. That's a heartbreaker. If we can find some way to win these games, man, if we could find a way to beat Washington week 1, that would put us ahead of the 8 ball. Team like Denver here, and then I look at games that feel winnable. So I'm going to give us a win here. I know I'm not going in order, but I'm going to give us a win against Minnesota. I think our defensive line against J.J. McCarthy should be powerful. Regardless of who the quarterback is, they will be in the system and hopefully rocking and rolling. And then Las Vegas again. I just feel like that's a winnable game. I know Geno, they got Brock Bowers, they got Genty, they have weapons, but the Giants, I think, can win that game. The tough part is, you lose these games up here, and I'm probably going to put Denver at 4 o'clock. I'm going to put Denver as an L. Again, it'd be great if you can get the win, but now you're sitting here at 1-7. How does the team hold together here, and then do you win these games? That's the problem. In 2022, the way we were able to get into the playoffs was the exact reverse of this. And it's kind of, I'm like talking myself out of this making sense. We were like 5-1, 6-1, and that propelled us into the playoffs. We lost some games down the stretch, but it didn't matter. Giants here, I think they can beat San Francisco. I do. I think that's a winnable game. I think Green Bay is a winnable game. I think we've beaten Green Bay in the past, especially 2 years ago with Tommy DeVito. I think the Giants are only better since then. Packers might be better since then as well, but I'm going to give the Giants the edge. I'm going to give us the edge here. We're going to break our primetime curse and get that win. Detroit, we will sadly take an L. And then Chicago, what are we at? We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I'm going to give us this one as well. And we finish 8-9. Look at that great handwriting. 8-9. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. It's not an easy schedule. Playing the AFC West and the NFC North, those are two of the best divisions in football, along with the NFC East becoming one of the best divisions in football. You love to see it, but you also hate to see it as a Giants fan. You wish you could be in a division, honestly, like the Patriots, where it's just the Bills, and that's it. The Dolphins and the Jets, I feel like, are not on the up and up. So a little jealous of Matthew there, but I think we'll finish 8-9. It really is dependent, though. Can we sneak some wins out early in the season when we're playing against, can we get that win against Washington week 1? Can we get a win against Dallas in week 2? An important divisional win that puts us on this trajectory of, hey, we can win games. If we don't win our first game till week 5, which it looks very likely against New Orleans, that's going to be really, really tough. And that's a tough hole to dig yourself out of. And you really, again, we have to lean on veterans like Slayton, Andrew Thomas, Dexter Lawrence, Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, these guys who have been in the league and have been on losing teams. It's going to be reliant a lot on them. But if again, it seems lopsided. You lose all your first games, you win all your second half of the season. It's probably not likely, but to me, these are the games that feel winnable. I think, if I had to flip some here, we could make this one a loss. San Francisco, I think, is a loss. Chicago, we get as a loss. And now we're sitting at, instead of 8-9, we're 6-11. And that, to me, looks a little more maybe realistic. 6-11 being, the median, or the low, the median being 8-9, and then, you could also get a couple wins out here, get a win here against Washington, get a win here against the Chargers, and now you're 10 and 7, and that feels like the high. So, there's definitely volatility going into it. But the thing I think that I keep myself grounded in as a Giants fan is no one is expecting anything of us. And because of that, maybe that can be our superpower. It really was last year in 2022, or a couple years ago in 2022. It was the Texans' superpower 2 years ago, where they had all 1:00 games, and then they snuck into the playoffs. They just handled their business. Giants are obviously more of a household name, so we have some primetime games, but I think it might still work out in our favor that no one is expecting anything from us. So, in conclusion, top of the top, we can finish 10-7, sneak out a few early wins, tough middle of the round, tough middle part of the schedule, weak ending of the schedule. Where I think we'll be is around 8-9, 7-10, and then the floor I think will be 6-11, 5-12. And again, I think I'll have to make a whole separate video on please don't fire Dable and Shane. They just got their quarterback. Give them some time. And I think we will see maybe Jackson Dart as early as week 9 and as late as week 14. And if things are working out in our favor, maybe we don't see him at all. But with that, I hope you guys all enjoyed. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you want us to talk about next, and I'll see you later. Peace.